Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Prime Time. I'm Paul Wagner, and tonight I think you'll get as big a kick out of the show as we had putting it together early this summer. We took a remote control unit from Channel 16 out to the Tampa Bay Yacht and Country Club for an evening with the old Smoothies. Now, here are a bunch of guys who are all amateur musicians, except one, whom we'll meet in a moment. They get together about once a month and just have a big time playing for their own amusement. Well, the moral of our story is this. Today, it's really important to have a lot of fun. Everybody needs to have a hobby, especially as we approach our retirement years, when non-work activity takes on added importance. Here in the studio with me is Pete Delinas, leader of the old Smoothies and the only real old pro in the group. In real life, he is Colonel Delinas, Public Affairs Officer with the U.S. Readiness Command at MacDill Air Force Base. And also we have two other old Smoothies with us now, Wally Sulzer. Wally's a retired paper merchant, and how he plays that piano. Also with us is Brent Merchant, a retired Air Force colonel and back with Exchange Bank until 1966, and he plays a mighty fast banjo. I want to find out more about the old Smoothies and the individuals in the group in a few minutes, but first, let's watch them in action. Here they are, the old Smoothies.
Ladies and gentlemen, an old favorite, Darktown Strutter's Ball. Here comes Paul Wagner now.
Well,
Hi, Paul.
I want you to meet Pete Delinas among our viewing audience. Pete, that was tremendous.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
And let me say just a word to our viewers before we get into the other part of the interview. First, Pete, I hear that you played with Buddy Hackett. Is that right?
Bobby.
Bobby Hackett. Bobby
Buddy
Hackett.
was the bass.
Buddy, yeah, Bobby Hackett. Yes.
Bobby was
Well, it
also
seemed like
younger.
you're a mighty young man to be playing back there
Thank you.
with Bobby.
Well-
How long did you play with him?
Oh, that was back in 39, 40.
Well, let me ask you, what got you into music? Were you given lessons as a young boy, or what you
Yeah.
brought to it?
I started out on banjo, went to guitar, from guitar to clarinet, and then saxophone.
I see. Well, now, when you finish your career in the Army, are you going to form a band? Are you going to...
No, I think the old Smoothies are
The old Smoothies going
enough
to do
a
it?
challenge for me. Yeah, this is great.
I think that's great. Well, it's a great band. It's a beautiful music. Well, Pete,
Great bunch of guys.
well, why don't we introduce them to our group?
to.
Wouldn't that be good?
Thank
Would you do it?
Sure, be glad to. Over here we have Brent Merchant, plays banjo. He's one of the originals. Another original here is Wally Seltzer, piano. Ralph Stephen, who's on our bass back here, is a doctor, as you know. Bill Platt on trumpet. Don Stichter on trombone. Bill Lyons here on tenor saxophone. Jerry Williams plays cornet. That's something like a trumpet. George McKelvey back here on bass. And Bruce Savage on drums.
Pete, let me ask you a question. How long has the band been together?
Oh, off and on since 1953, I understand, although many of us have joined at various times.
Well, you know, it is just so great. Let's have some more music, huh?
Good.
Let's
Glad
have
to. For our second set, I think we ought to go into some of the older things that you all appreciate, I think. If you'd like to sing or dance, please be our guest. We start out with Shanty in Old Shanty Town, followed by Way Down Yonder up in New Orleans, and then Bruce Savage is going to play some drums on the Chic of Araby. Here we go. It's only a shanty in Old Shanty Town. The roof is so slanty it touches the ground. But my old tumble-down shack on the old railroad track, like a millionaire's mansion, is calling me back. I'd give up a palace if I were a king. It's more than a palace, it's my everything. There's the queen waiting there with the silvery crown in my shanty in Old Shanty Town. Way down yonder, New Orleans. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess so. I don't know what key they do.
Well, I tell you, that's real great music coming from a unique group of musicians. Well, why don't we learn more about them here in the next few minutes? We've got members of the old Smoothies here with us, two of the pioneers, Brent Merchant and Wally Salzer. Wally, let me begin asking you, how long have you been with the group?
Well, we started in 1963, Paul, playing only for the Tampa Yacht Club Christmas party. Now, it's not generally known, but the Tampa Yacht Club is one of 5 in the United States out of the many thousands that puts on a Christmas party using their own members as the performers. So it's a unique, completely amateur type of thing. Well, you get all caught up in that thing, and Brent and I got a couple other guys together that could blow or play something, and we decided that we'd call ourselves the Old Smoothies and go out and do a stint at the Christmas party. We've been doing that ever since.
But you know, Wally, it is good. You know, I know you all are amateurs, but it's certainly a lot better than some of the amateurs, you know, we hear playing around. Well, let's get just a little more specific. You, as a young man, did you take to the piano, or did you take?
Oh yeah. I was forced by a strict mother to learn to play the piano. But one thing that she or the teacher were ever able to do is teach me to learn how to read. I still can't read, but I play by ear, and
well, did you
been playing ever since.
When you were in your active career with the paper business and so on, did you still come to the piano as an outlet?
Oh yes, yeah, on and off. But actually, the most fun I've had playing piano is with this group of like-minded fellas.
I see.
Old Brent here, he's the world's second best banjo player. You know? We tell him that there's bound to be somebody better than he is.
Well, Brent, how did you, I know you've had a long career in the military. I know you were commandant at MacDill.
That's right.
And then you were the Exchange Bank, of course, as a public relations officer, weren't you?
Yep, that's
for
right.
something like 11 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm, yep.
Well, how did you get to the banjo? You know, when did you begin, and how did you keep it up?
Well, when I was a flying cadet in World War I, we found we needed a band very badly. We needed a dance band because we were way out in the country. So I started playing the banjo just by ear and just picked the thing up, and it just came naturally to me. I don't know, I've just played it ever since. And I haven't been very active at it for a good many years in between, but it's come back pretty well.
I see.
We all play by ear. I don't know any notes at all, but it seems to work out all right.
But during your active career there, let's say while you were at MacDill, did you go to your banjo very much?
No, I didn't get a chance to then. I was a little bit too busy. But
Yes.
we didn't have an organized band then. We organized here a little later.
What kind of value do you put on that as a hobby? Have you both put a very high priority on this kind of a hobby?
Well, I think we have just about as much fun in our jam sessions as we do when we play for other people, because well, we're just a bunch of old hams, that's all. We can't get away
It's
from
all
it.
extemporaneous, and I think, you know, it gives you something to do with your emotions, really.
Well, Pete,
Keeps you off the street and out of the pool.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, Pete, I know you're the old pro in this group. But
No,
tell me,
I'm really not.
do you have some good students? I mean, really good players there? Do they
Well, I think,
do what you say?
Well, as they both said, they have fantastic ears. And of course, this is a born-in trait, I think. I think anybody can learn to read notes. But the idea of knowing the certain key, and it's amazing that at the repertoire that everybody has. Gee whiz, you can say, how about T for 2 in a key of B flat? And everybody starts playing. It's just fantastic.
That's a great song, isn't it?
I think so.
Can anyone learn, for instance, to play an instrument?
Oh, yes. I think so.
You can by note, but I think to play by ear is just something that comes to you, that's all. And the nice part about playing by ear is we don't have to fumble around with music. It all just is in our minds.
Well, there was not a single member of the group there that was playing that read music?
No, I don't think any of them can read, except maybe Pete. He can read.
Well, tell us something about the group. We have a very short time. I know you have a lawyer there. What other professions do you have in the group?
Well, we've got banker,
Doctor?
doctor, 2 lawyers,
Yep.
investment broker.
Yep.
Retired teaching pro.
We got fellas that run from 50 to 77. Brent here's the senior citizen in the
Be
group.
careful now.
This old goat is 77 years old.
Oh, my
I don't
goodness.
advertise that.
No, he's been getting away with it for years.
But Wally, he's a young 77, isn't he?
That's right. Let's see, did I leave anybody out, Pete?
No, I think you
No,
just
I
about
think
got it.
George McKelvey.
Kelvin?
He's in. George, what do you do? I forget what interior decorator.
Well,
No.
while we've got to go on, thank you. It's a great group. And let's go, but let's
Sorry.
listen to some more of them. Is it okay?
Good deal.
Thank you very much. Next, we're going to try a little Chinatown in the key of B flat, Wally, please. Followed by Don Stickler, who's going to play trombone for us on a long-awaited Tipperary, and he'll be joined by Ralph Stephen. Here we go. Chinatown. long way to Tipperary.
You know, I know all of you want to meet the director of this dynamo group. It's Pete Delanus. You've seen him before. But before I speak to Pete, Wally, just a moment ago, was telling me about some of his earlier career achievements. Wally, what was your...
Well, this guy, you wouldn't think to look at him as a hero, but he's a member of the Infantry Hall of Fame at Fort Benning, Georgia, and holds the second highest award awarded to the military in this country, under the Congressional Medal of Honor. So don't blush, Pete. It's all right.
Pete, that's great. You know? Well, with all of these achievements in your career, and you still get, of course, a lot of joy out of the music.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. When I first got here early in January of '74, I think the biggest honor was the invitation after I joined the Yacht Club to join this great group. And of course, I didn't know it at the time, but I went out to Ralph's house, and I went out there for an audition. You know, these gentlemen kind of covertly or otherwise said it wasn't an audition. So apparently I passed.
Yes, you sure did.
And I've enjoyed it ever since.
Did you take a lot of music when you were a boy?
Oh, yes, quite a bit. You know, singing Sonny Boy, Al Jolson at age of 6 and all that stuff. But as I mentioned earlier, I started out on a banjo, so that's...
Well, I know, of course, you're in the midst of your career still. What are your plans when you do retire, Pete? Are you going to stay here? Are you going to go more heavily into music?
Well, Betty and I are looking forward to staying here in the area. Yes, we live in northeast St. Petersburg, and we're very happy. We have a lot of friends in the greater Tampa Bay area, Paul, and I'm certainly looking forward to staying with the Yacht Club and also the old Smoothies.
You just get a heck of a lot of fun out of it.
I think so.
And you feel it'll add a great deal to your happiness as you retire?
And I think also, Paul, an important consideration, we enjoy making other people happy. I mean, we get an awful lot of feedback from people who are dancing and so forth, and they just seem to be having a ball, and of course that in itself sheds years and makes you feel good, I think.
I wonder, do you think most people really can enjoy their lives better if they had something like this?
Oh, I think so. You know, music makes the world go around, and I'm just glad that we're a part of it, a small part, but still a part of it. Great.
Well, we just can't thank all of you enough for coming with us. You've given us a
Paul.
Beautiful evening. It's been so good to have you here with us, and I know our viewing audience has been so happy to be here. I think the great thing about it is it shows that as we go into our retirement years, we can certainly be happy if we can do something, and music is a great thing to be doing. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being with us. And now let's listen to the old Smoothies.